It's time for the Landrum Football Coaches Show with Head Coach Mike Reid on Upstate Prep-Cast. This show presented by Teddy Laster Racing Stables. In addition to the Briar Patch of Campobello, Inman Fast Stop, Pool Time and Supplies of Bowling Springs, Peach Country of Campobello. And now from the Southside Smokehouse and Grille in Landrum, South Carolina, your hosts Steve Roper and Kevin Jackson with head coach of the Landrum Cardinals, Mike Reid.
Good evening, Cardinal fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Landrum Cardinals Football Coaches Show on Upstate Prep-Cast, presented by Teddy Laster Racing Stables. I'm Steve Roper, your host, alongside my co-host and producer, Mr. Kevin Jackson, and our camera operator, Mr. Rob McIntyre. We're back at the Southside Smokehouse in Landrum, and tonight we'll look back at a hard-fought Week 3 battle with Ware Shoals. The Cardinals came up short in a 20-12 loss, but there were plenty of positives to take away, and we'll talk about those as well as what's ahead for Landrum this week as they prepare for the Asheville Christian Academy Lions. But first, let's welcome back the head coach of the Landrum Cardinals, Coach Mike Reid.
Thank you.
Coach, it was a 20-12 tough loss at Ware Shoals. What was your biggest takeaway from the game?
The biggest takeaway for the game for us is, and I told the guys Monday, we beat ourselves. We had 12 bad snaps. We had 7 false start penalties. Just in those plays alone, you're looking at every 2 snaps. We ran 51 snaps of offensive plays. Every 2 snaps, we're having some type of setback. So it's not a scheme thing. It's more of a mental, are we mentally prepared? Are we mentally sharp? Anytime you false start, you're just not mentally prepared. You're not focused on when the ball is supposed to be snapped. And, like I said, unfortunately, we had some bad snaps. But, I'm not making excuses as far as why we lost, but that's a big reason why we played the way we did.
Well, as a head coach and even as a fan with a microphone on a Friday night, the frustration that you as a coach must feel when we false start several times or line up offsides and things like that. These are things that are coachable and learnable, but the kids have to learn a presence of field and such. It's frustrating for a coach, but how do you go about fixing these type of things as a coach?
Well, you just you hold people accountable, and it starts with me. We have to hold our kids accountable when we false start. We have to make them realize by doing some things at practice, up downs or whatever, that you got to think when you're tired. That's the ultimate thing. All these things happen when we're tired, and you lose focus, and you just got to be mentally sharp.
But in their defense, it was hot.
It was.
And very muggy and such. And I can see that they would get tired on limited number of players that we have. But, on the positive side, the Cardinals rushed for 256 yards, including the 157 yards and a touchdown from Braylon Revis. How proud of you of that ground game?
It was great, and we could have done more. That's the thing that bothers you when you turn back and watch film on Saturday is you look at how much more we could have had, just with the false starts and the bad snaps. We blocked it well up front. Those guys did very well up front. We're still young up front. We got 3 either freshmen or sophomores playing, and they're getting better each week. They are. But, we know that we left a lot of yards still on the field.
Speaking of yards, and a lot of them on the field, Braylon Revis with a 96-yard touchdown run. It was thrown out, just a little sweep out to the left, and maybe they were tired. They didn't wrap him up.
Yeah, broke a few tackles.
But he did not stop. He went down to one hand and came up, and it was just a foot race for the next 90 yards from that point.
It was a great run, and we blocked it pretty well, and he had to make, it's schemed up to where he's got to make a guy miss, and he did. And he's getting better and better each week with playing in the backfield, and we still count on him at receiver. But right now he's helping us really a lot in the backfield.
One of the key points of the game was our first score and we backed them up and forced them to punt from the shadow of their own goal line, and we get back there and we blocked that thing.
Well, we knew after watching film, we knew how they lined up with their punt team that we could go up the middle and had a good chance of blocking it. And you know, they ended up getting a false start the play before. We wasn't going to run the block the play before. And when they got the false start, they got backed up a little bit more and decided that, you know what, we're going to go after this thing, and it worked out for us.
Now Carson Roach returned it into the end zone for the touchdown, but did he block it, or was it?
Yeah, he blocked it.
He also blocked it and got the scoop too. So that was a big moment in the game to get us back in it and get a little confidence going. One of the things that I noticed, that we had the ball right before the half, and we were going to receive the ball to start the third quarter, and we kind of would have liked to put some points on the board and get the ball back to start the second half. But again, the offense floundered with the false starts, and that just, how does that, in the big picture of it, of all that was pivotal.
It's just frustrating because, I mean, you know, if you score 2 more times, you know, we win the game, because defensively after the first quarter we played very well defensively.
You shut them down the second half.
I mean, it's really the first quarter, and then after the first quarter we only gave up 31 yards the whole game. After the first quarter.
You really tightened up in that second half. I mean, they shut them out the second half, didn't they, Kevin? And that was, you know, remarkable effort by the defense, but offensively, we just can't get it clicking for some reason.
It's just the mental mistakes.
Exactly, and that comes with youth.
Yeah, it does. But we're also now getting into the 4th game of the season. We've got some games under our belt, so that stuff needs to start going away.
Now, what are some of the things you feel that you did very well last week?
I mean, like I said, offensively, we were moving the ball, we were opening up holes, but you know, defensively, We played well most of the game. The first quarter, like I said, we just had to make an adjustment about who was taking the pitch on the option. You know, it just boiled down to we wasn't fitting our right gaps and who was taking quarterback and who was taking the pitch. Once we got that fixed, you know, we were fine.
You told us coming in last week that they had a very good option quarterback, and he was.
He was very good, yeah.
He ran the option, the veer option, very well. And our defensive ends, you know, the first quarter, like you say, took a little bit to adjust. But the second half, the defensive front and the secondary just played lights-out football. But, you know, unfortunately, the offense just didn't play lights-out football too. But, hey, those are all correctable.
That's right.
And this week you face an opponent in Asheville Christian, and we don't know a whole lot about them, but they've given up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So –
I mean,
how do you prepare for a team like this?
Just like you would any other team. It doesn't matter what they show on film. We have to do what we do, and we'll adjust to whatever fronts they give us or whatever coverages they give us, and then, you know, defensively we'll adjust to whatever offense they give us. You just go into each game. It don't matter who you're playing. You prepare like you're playing, you know, for a state championship. It doesn't matter.
Each and every play, Coach. We got AJ still out with a separated shoulder, mending that up. Did we come out okay after last week's game?
Yeah, for the most part. We got our normal bangs and bruises, but yeah, for the most part, we're pretty healthy, about the same we were.
All right, Coach. Thank you for breaking down last week's game. Later on, we'll talk with you about this week's matchup against Asheville Christian Academy. But coming up next, we'll be joined by defensive back Cooper Tidwell to talk about the secondary. You're watching the Landrum Football Coaches Show on Upstate Prep-Cast, presented by Teddy Laster Racing Stables. Stick around.
There's nothing better than award-winning jumbo wings while you watch great sports programming on huge flat screens at Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. If you love wings and a whole menu of great food and drink options, come to Wings Etc. for lunch, dinner, and snacking, and lots of HDTV sports. And now, when you can't eat and watch the game here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. Good food, great times, and online ordering at togo.wingsetc.com.
Do you have a tree problem? Look no further than JB Trees LLC. At JB Trees LLC, we strive to provide a wonderful experience with professional service marked by excellence, all at reasonable prices. Schedule your free estimate today by calling 864-497-8511. That's 864-497-8511, or visit us online at jbtreesllc.com. JB Trees LLC, where your vision meets our expertise.
Are you concerned about the economy, interest rates, or current market conditions? For timely information based on sophisticated research, call Raymond James Financial Advisor Tom Dixon at 864-582-1611. He can discuss your specific needs and help to provide you with investment choices that make sense for you. Call Tom at 582-1611 in Spartanburg for an appointment. Raymond James Financial Service, member FINRA, SIPC. Life well planned.
The Flounder Seafood Restaurant, located at 160 Barbado Lane in Spartanburg, opens every Wednesday through Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Serving the upstate since 1969, they have been twice voted Spartanburg's best seafood restaurant. Everything at the Flounder is fresh and homemade, from their specialty stews to their famous hash and their signature flounder. Visit the website at flounderfishcamp.com. Come visit the Flounder, where there is a line, but it moves quickly. The Flounder at 160 Barbado Lane. Give them a call at 864-576-3165.
All right, welcome back, fans, to the Southside Smokehouse and Grille here in Landrum, South Carolina. We've got one fan over here clapping. I like that, Miss Holly. Our next guest is a key piece of the Cardinals secondary. He brings toughness, awareness, and determination to the defensive backfield. Please welcome Mr. Cooper Tidwell to the show, and we'll hear from Coach Reid on the development of some of these defensive backs and what he's got to tell us about this fine football player here for the Cardinals. Coop, as they say, how do you describe the identity of your Landrum Cardinals this season?
You know, we want to have high expectations this year. We want to go far. I mean, we have the key pieces to do it, but other years we just didn't really, keep what we promised, and we just want to go, hopefully maybe win region and go shoot for the sky.
Defensively, last week we were keeping good tabs on you, playing an option quarterback, and you can't rely on that run all night long. You stayed in position there. One time they tried to test you long, and you were there. You didn't get lulled to sleep, and that's what happens a lot of times with a defensive back when you're facing a very run-oriented team like where Shores was. And you made the good breakup back there when they had a guy there, and just an outstanding play that really saved the touchdowns. What were your thoughts at that moment?
Well, we knew coming in that they like to run the ball. It was like a 60-40 or probably 70-30. They like to run the ball a lot, but we knew that DBs, we need to still get our 3-out slow, always watch for it, because they love that option. They love the option, love the QB draw, and we knew that they loved throwing that number 7 a lot, and I knew that I was tasked to guard them, so I was ready for them.
Did you learn anything out of this game? You know, as a player, each week you want to progress in the things that reaction and things like that. Is the game slowed down to you now after all these years?
Yeah, I mean, this was my first year because I didn't play. I played 8th grade year and then I quit. And then I didn't come back till last year. And then I just started playing DB. And then I learned a lot from the first game versus Walhalla last year, getting beat deep. It was a really big play.
I think that's why I kind of asked you that question, because I knew there was, a time frame there where you weren't involved with it. And the slowing down process mentally that I'm talking about is, as you get experienced as a player, the game just kind of slows down mentally for you. Yeah. Are you at that point? You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I can just keep preparing myself, and I know what's coming. And it helped me from last year, just all them playing them games, and then I knew coming in this year, I knew what to look for, and it's just preparation.
Now, Coach Reid, what has this young man brought to the team, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, he's brought a lot of athleticism and a lot of smarts. I mean, the first year I came in, he didn't play, and we watched him play basketball, and we're like, man, we got to get this kid on the football field. And my plan was, as the defensive coordinator, was to put him at linebacker. And, I mean, he's a good-looking kid. He's got, he's big, and he goes out to play corner, and I'm like, I don't know about this. But then he goes out there and, I mean, shuts people down. I mean, knock on wood, I mean, there's not been many people throw the deep ball on him.
Is he a real impact player?
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid to put his nose in there and hit somebody, and it's always good to have a physical corner. If you got guys at corner that'll hit, and we got 2 good corners, I mean, they're going to come in and put their nose in there, and we're not worried about anything running to the outside.
So we got Coop back there, and how about these other ones you mentioned there?
And you got Revis and the other corner, and you got Hayden Martindale and M. Patterson. All those guys love to hit, and you don't find that much in high school football with a secondary that likes to hit.
Well, Coop, who are some of your teammates that have impressed you this year with their maybe leadership and keeping it together, helping you keep it together on the field as a leader?
I think that Braylon and Hayden, I mean, we just had a lot of chemistry last year. So coming in this year, I'm doing Hayden for a while now. I mean, we've been friends since first grade probably. And Braylon, I mean, I met him when he came to Landrum, and then we just got closer and closer from playing football and just everything else, and I got trust in him. So.
Now, the coach mentioned you guys like to hit. Now, in the defensive scheme in which we run in these front four, they're kind of delegated to keep these linemen off the linebackers and such as that, to stop the run. And you in the defensive backfield, you've got to, check run, check pass and such as this. But what can you say about the guys up front that allow you to actually come up and make some tackles right near the line of scrimmage sometimes? How important is that?
I mean, I enjoy making tackles. I mean, I get the opportunity because sometimes they'll run a bubble and I can shoot down on it. And then, I mean, it's just I like coming down hitting. I always do.
Got any special plans for Friday night? Maybe a pick six, perhaps, this week.
We'll see.
None of our predictions came true last week, so we saved out on 2 meals. That's for sure.
This team likes to throw the ball. So
I'm not sure how many tackles that Mr. Gist ended up with. He was hoping to get 8.
I think he had 6.
Too bad, too short, too short there, Kevin. We saved us a meal at the Smokehouse here, but hey, we'd gladly give you one next week if you can just tell us what's going to happen Friday night, or hope will happen in your shoes Friday night.
And we know they like to throw the ball more than they run the ball. It's way more. So hoping I can get some 3 breakdowns, 3 little pass breakups, and maybe a pick, and then hopefully 5 to 6 tackles.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Cooper, thank you for joining us and sharing your perspective from the defensive side of the ball. And Coach, thank you for your thoughts as well. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to a two-way playmaker, wide receiver and defensive back Hayden Martindale, along with his position coach, wide receiver Coach Cooper Gentry. You're watching the Landrum Cardinal Football Coaches Show on Upstate Prep-Cast, presented by Teddy Laster Racing Stables.
Hey guys, this is Todd Waddell with Upstate Prep-Cast. When the storm hits, trust the guys who've got you covered. Guy Roofing. For over 50 years, they've been protecting homes and businesses across the Carolinas with the quality you can see and a name you can trust. From inspections to full replacements, their team is fast, reliable, and built on integrity. Visit GuyRoofing.com today. Guy Roofing. Protection you can count on.
Call 864-578-4594 for your consultation today.
Discover the power of Mahindra at Mahindra of the Upstate, located at 4951 Chesney Highway in Chesney. We're your one-stop destination for top quality tractors. Mahindra, the #1 best-selling tractor in the world, is now within your reach. Take advantage of our low-rate financing options, making your dream tractor more affordable than ever. Visit our website at sctractor.com or call 864-461-2515. Mahindra of the Upstate, the official tractor of tough.
Jeff Parks and his team of experienced real estate professionals at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services see Dan Joyner are lifelong football fans, and they know for a successful football team on any level, you must have great coaching and a good game plan. The same goes when purchasing or selling a home. Let the Spartanburg office at 170 Camelot Drive be your coach with the right game plan and strategy to make your real estate purchase go like a championship winning season. Contact Jeff Parks at 864-415-0336. Berkshire Hathaway, see Dan Joyner of Spartanburg. See danjoyner.com.
This is Pastor Tyler from View Church. We're located in Bowling Springs at 5555 Paris Bridge Road. If you've been turned off by religion, been discouraged or hurt by church, or maybe you just thought church was boring, you should give View Church a try. It's a place like none other. The people are genuine, the spirit is obvious, and God is moving in this place. Visit our website for times and direction at viewchurch.org.
And welcome back to the Southside Smokehouse and Grille here in Landrum, South Carolina. Our next guest is one of the Cardinals' most versatile players. He contributes as a wide receiver on the offense and as a defensive back on defense, giving him a big role on both sides of the ball. Please welcome Hayden Martindale. And joining Hayden is the man who leads the wide receivers groups in his first year as a coach, Coach Cooper Gentry. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
To the Coaches Show. Hayden Wink Martindale. It's a name I threw on you a couple of years ago, and you've never really said stop it or not. So I'm going to stick with it. Hayden, as a two-way player, how do you prepare yourself to handle the demands of playing both receiver and in the defensive backfield?
Going into the offensive side of the ball, I have to prepare myself with the routes he gives us each week to tear down the defense. And then as a defensive back, I have to watch film to know what routes they're running as wide receivers.
You also return punts and kicks.
Yes, sir, I do.
I often comment when you're back there what a danger you are. You're a very crafty little runner. How do you prepare mentally when you go back to get that punt and you know there's 11 guys charging down the field at you? How does that feel? I've never been in that position.
I just try my best to get behind my blockers, find that open gap down the field.
Then last week there was a little short kick and you went over, and which we found out later, your foot was out of bounds when you got it, but you ran up on them as they were around the ball, and you picked it up like a cat getting a mouse or something, and you were going to be a little sneaky and try to do a little something with that, So I like that. I like your craftiness. I've seen you pick them up on the run, on the bounce, and it's made some great plays out of it so far. Coach, what can you tell us about this young man so far that you've seen out of him this year that makes you very proud?
I think he's done a great job just being a leader. Playing both sides of the ball is not easy, so I think he does it really well. We'd like to get him running a little more north than side to side, but we'll take what we can get.
Now, Hayden, on defense, do you use your offensive knowledge to kind of anticipate what an opposing receiver's going to do?
Yeah, because on the offensive side of the ball, I know where to break and when to break, so it kind of helps me out to see when they sink their hips on the defensive side to know when they're breaking in their route.
Coach, how important is the leadership from a young man like Hayden in guiding your young receivers?
It's very important. We've got a couple young guys, couple sophomores that play a good bit of offense for us, and just having Hayden out there to kind of show them how to practice, what we expect out of players is very important.
Now, this is your first year on the staff. How does that work in preparation as a coach compared to your playing days just a few years ago? Is it a lot harder than you expected?
I kind of knew what I was getting into here with my dad being a coach and everything, but no, it's a little more preparation. It's definitely your job as a coach to get your guys prepared.
Now, a lot of Cardinal fans may not have known that he has been going to college for the past 4 years, as his younger brother was on the team last year, Kirby. And I do believe, Kevin, he was referred to as Cooper Gentry for 4 years by yours truly. And tonight,
it's okay. I've done it. I've done the same thing to him over on baseball at times too.
Now back to old Wink here. Hayden, what goals have you set for yourself this year as a leader and a playmaker?
Just to go out there and make sure everybody's pushing themselves to get better each day at practice, just to be the best we can on Friday nights.
Coach, what role do you see these receivers in Hayden? What kind of impact could we see from them Friday night against Asheville Christian?
I want to see them compete to the best of their ability, and stay sharp. But if they make a mistake, make it going 100 miles an hour, and we'll live with the result.
Now, Hayden, yes, Kevin.
I was going to ask, Coop, I obviously know you a lot more from the baseball side of things. Of course, you were a state championship level baseball player, won in your sophomore year, and would have won your junior year, I believe, if COVID hadn't happened and stuff. But coming from a championship clubhouse and locker room like that, what do you instill now as a coach, on the mental side, preparation side, to what it takes to become a championship program like that as a coach?
You got to do your homework. You got to know who you're playing against that week, and I think honestly, it's more about us beating ourselves than knowing what the other team is doing. So I think just being sharp mentally is the key to our success as a team.
All right. Kevin, anything else you'd like to ask this young man and this fine coach that we've got back in the Landrum fold here? He's got pedigree, as he said. Dad's a coach.
That's right.
And really outstanding athlete while he was here, and we're glad to have him back home.
We're always glad when one of the Cardinals comes back into the roost.
Hayden and Coach Gentry, thank you both for joining us and giving the Cardinal fans a look inside the wide receivers room. And when we come back, Coach Reid rejoins us to preview this week's opponent, the Asheville Christian Academy Lions. You're watching the Landrum Football Coaches Show on Upstate Prep-Cast, presented by Teddy Laster Stables.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call Agent Chad Wagner, Asheville Highway, Spartanburg, 585-7999.
All right, guys, 30-second commercial for GSP Security. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
No, it's your turn to go. I did the last one.
No, this one's yours.
Man, I've already got a security system from GSP Securities. You're the one that needs to talk about this.
Well, you can talk about it because I don't know anything about it, so you tell me.
I've got cameras, I've got motion detectors, I've got everything that I need to be safe at my house.
Oh, come on.
All right, forget it. Y'all both forget it. Just go to www.callgsp.com today to request a free quote.
Warrior Tree Service, your go-to tree experts. Family owned and operated since 2020, offering service from tree removal to tree trimming and stump grinding. At Warrior Tree Service, we handle it all. When nature strikes, count on us to clean up the mess and restore your property back to normal. Visit our website at warriortreeservicesc.com. To get a free estimate, call 864-278-2555. Warrior Tree Service, where nature thrives, we revive.
This is Steve Roper,
Kevin Jackson,
at Upstate Prep-Cast, and I tell you what, folks, you don't have to feel a financial strain from a clogged drain. Just call the MVP of plumbers. That's Mike Verner's Plumbing, proudly celebrating their 40th year of service to the Carolinas. Mike Verner's Plumbing has you covered in all situations, whether it's commercial or residential. So if your toilet's on the fritz and you really need to take a
Hold everything. Folks, call the MVP of plumbers today at 864-472-8756. Mike Verner's Plumbing of Inman.
When you need trusted legal guidance, experience matters. For decades, the Stevens Law Group has been serving people right here in South Carolina. Your neighbors, your friends, your community. They handle all areas of family law with skill and compassion, helping clients navigate life's most important decision. Call 864-598-9172 or visit scfamilylaw.com today. The Stevens Law Group, local experience with a focus on family.
Hi, this is Ron Hawkins with Next Home Experience Realty. For over 30 years, I've been helping people buy and sell homes. Whether you're looking for new construction, buying your very first home, searching for that perfect investment property, or selling a home you've loved for years, call or text me at 864-415-5792 or visit my online site at spartanburghomes.net. I am Ron Hawkins, your trusted realtor in the Upstate, turning for sale into sold for over 30 years.
Welcome back to the Southside Smokehouse and Grille here in Landrum, South Carolina, for the Landrum High School Coaches Football Show. Kevin Jackson, Steve Roper, Rob McIntyre, and the head coach, Mike Reid of the Cardinals. Coach, this week the Cardinals return home to face the Asheville Christian Academy Lions. Let's talk about that matchup. What can you tell us? What stands out to you most about the Asheville Christian Academy team?
Well, I mean, I think they're a young team. I think they got a bunch of sophomores on their team. But they've got a pretty good quarterback that likes to sling it around, and they got a pretty good receiver. I mean, when watching film, he comes down with a lot of footballs, and defensively they got a pretty good scheme, and we just got to do what we got to do, and I think we'll be fine this week.
What's one of the biggest things you've been working on all week to prepare for them?
We've been working on us, just trying to get a snap and making sure that we're mentally prepared not to have 7 false starts again.
Hoping for a big bounce back for this week. You know, an 8-point loss is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just, you know, how it kind of transpired. You know, like you mentioned, we shot ourselves in the foot many times. These kind of things can be corrected with time. But going into this Friday night, say your first series, what are we looking for, first 2 or 3 series? as a team to get this thing going compared to last week?
We're just looking to be sharp and execute what we're wanting to do. I mean, most teams have a script when they go out of what they feel comfortable with those first couple series, and we've got some things that we feel comfortable with. We just got to make sure that we're doing what we do and execute what we're supposed to do.
What do you feel the major keys besides that could also be to lead to the victory? I mean, we got things to clean up. That's true. Let's look at some individual performances last week. Revis had a great time running the ball. Some great play by the quarterback position in Ty Foster.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a good job of kind of getting out of the pocket. We've got to do a better job up front of giving him time to throw the ball. And we're working on that every day with our pass protection and things like that. But we got to make sure he's got time to see down the field and to be able to read the routes. We've had an issue with that lately as far as giving him time. So we're trying to do things as far as perimeter stuff to get the ball out there. But he's done a good job when he's had time to throw the ball.
Coach, I don't think there's anyone that wants to ever lose a ball game, but I think you coaches do get a little excited to be able to coach after a loss sometimes because the hunger comes back, the complacency, you're humbled a little bit. You kind of know that we're not as good as we thought we were and we got stuff we wanted to work on. How's the attitude of the players been this week coming off this loss, coming back home to try and avenge that and get back on the right track?
Well, we've had 2 really good practices this week, and I think they understand that, we talked about it before with the first 2 wins, don't get complacent. And, I'm not saying we got complacent, but, with it, whenever you have a loss, things kind of come to a head more than they do in a win. So, we've been able to have a good couple of days of practice. We've had, we've been pretty sharp with most things, and we just got to be able to translate that to Friday nights.
Well, I see you brought a special little friend with you this evening, Coach. Who you got there?
This is my daughter, Kinley.
Hello, how are you?
You say hey?
That's good enough for us. But anyway, she's probably the boss of this operation going on up here this evening especially. We want to thank Coach Reid, Cooper Tidwell, Hayden Martindale, and Coach Cooper Gentry for joining us tonight. And, of course, thanks to all of you Cardinal fans for tuning in. Before we close, we want to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors who make the Landrum Football Coaches Show possible. Kevin?
Our primary sponsor of the Landrum Football Coaches Show is Teddy Laster Racing Stables. Also proud to be sponsored by the Briar Patch Quick Stop of Campobello, Inman Fast Stop, Pool Time and Supplies of Bowling Springs and Peach Country of Campobello. And again, if you would like to become a sponsor of the Landrum Football Coaches Show here on Upstate Prep-Cast, or partner with us, or give your appreciation for these local broadcasts, then on Landrum Football here on Upstate Prep-Cast, visit our website at www.upstateprepcast.net/Landrum to learn more.
Be sure and join us this Friday night. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. at the Campobello Coliseum. You don't want to miss it. But if you can't make it, which we really, really hope that you do, tune in to Upstate Prep-Cast as we'll bring you all the action play by play. And we might try to get a few names right this week.
Well, we might.
All right. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, until this Friday night, what do we say, little Miss Reid?
Say go Cards.
Go Cards.